Willow Creek Springs presents Healthy Living with your host, Joe Grumbine.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Healthy Living Podcast brought to you by Willow Creek Springs. I'm Joe Grumbine. I'll be your host today. And I have with me Richard Mccuen with Yellow Footprint Fitness, Gardens of Hope, Willow Creek Springs. This guy is all over the place. Richard, welcome back. How are you doing today?
Great. We're woke up, did our workout, held ourselves accountable, and did our biohack 40 just to make sure that we could actually do it. And we're feeling great. We're starting our morning off the right way.
Fantastic. So the biohack 40, we were talking about that a little bit yesterday, and I'm eager to jump into that because I'm really so today, just so you know, I sat down and I said, all right, I'm going to get started, and it's been a while. You know, I go off and on. Sometimes I get into it and I do, my routine, but lately I've just been working in the yard a lot, and I just say, well, I'd rather keep all that strength for that. Whatever energy I got, I want to use it for pushing sand. But sometimes you want to see where you're at, and so I dropped down and went after 40, and I got to 32, and I got, whoa, what the hell? What happened to me? And so no big deal. I stopped. I caught my breath for a minute or two, and I snapped out the other 8, and I said, okay, well, there's my first 40, but that told me where I was. And I thought that was an interesting point of view, was like, I never would have thought that something like an exercise, a push-up, an activity would be actually like a marker of like where you are in life. And I was able to go, oh, you are here. And I'm not over here. I'm not down there, but I'm right there.
It's an accountability within everybody, and everybody's at a different level of that,
Yeah.
Whether you're starting or, progressing. It all plays back to the same aspect of, that 1 for 1. That's good. That most people, they can't even do 20 push-ups, and spread it out throughout the whole day. Oh, I don't have time. I'm busy. I'm at work. Well, we always have times to break, to go do things. So, those are the tips to interact and do that if have a busy schedule.
Just to tell you how quickly your body can adjust or adapt or degrade or whatever you want to call it. Number one, I did it in the morning on an empty stomach without any kind of, fuel in me. And I like to set my pace there because I know that I didn't do anything to enhance it. Like I'm just running on my own batteries. And, that can be a marker of a lot of different things, but at least it's not like, oh, I went and took some kind of energy shot, then went out and had it. But less than a year ago, I could snap out 50 with a 20-pound vest on without, I'd break a sweat, but I'd drop and do the 50 and get up and go on about my day and be fine. So by not doing that particular thing, I've degraded that set of whatever to a place where I wasn't anywhere near that in not that long of a time. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's good. And basically, like whenever I started, like from 1, and even, I'll still mess around and do 1,000, every once in a while.
Mess around and do 1,000. I like that.
Just, that's just me, but it's not something that I do on a day-to-day basis anymore. I built that strength so that I can maintain, and, it's pretty much a maintenance level type of workout, from that point on. Is you don't want to be comfortable, and every time you get into those uncomfortable situations, you want to just stay comfortable. Well, this will help you, each individual push past that uncomfortableness, because when you started, you didn't think you could do the 40, and then now you're doing 30, 39, now you're doing 40, or now you don't even focus on the 40, you're going on past on what else can I do? And
well, that's where I'm at right now. So I'm going to just share what my thoughts are. You tell me if I'm on the right road here. So like my first goal was to hit 40 in one hit. So since I didn't get it today, tomorrow, I got it, but it took me 2 runs at it. So tomorrow my goal is to hit it in 1 run, and that will accomplish that first goal. And then I might say, well, I'll take a day off or whatever. Then I'm gonna set another goal, and then I'm gonna say, okay, well, I did straight ones, just shoulders straight out. So then I'm gonna do 40 of those, and then I'm gonna go after 40 close together. And that'll be my next step to try to get to. And I know I can do it because I know where what I remember is that your body will get back to where you were pretty quick. Like if you were ever able to do whatever and you get started at it, you'll get back to that spot you left off quicker than up to the next level.
Exactly. It's like if you only rode a bike when you were young, and then you never rode a bike the rest of your life, you're still going to be able to ride that bike. You're just not going to be as good as it because you haven't done it in a long time. But the muscle memory has already been taught, so it doesn't need to know the function. So that's where the 1-for-1 compression, and body weight builds that repetition.
And your muscles know that they can do it. So you're not getting past, like, I didn't get the reward today that I will get when I get up to a couple hundred. Like, I don't think I've ever done more than, I think the most I ever did in a day maybe was 160 or something like that. And it was me just seeing, with the time I had, what could I do? And so I know, like, when I hit 200, I will have never done that before. So I know I'll get a special kind of a reward. My brain will give me a little Scooby snack for that one.
Yeah, it's like you stress yourself out on an exam, and you end up going through that exam, and then you walk away like, man, I blew that. And then you get the grade and it's an A, and you just blow your mind away like, wow, I did that. That's the same accomplishment is what you may not feel doing the push-ups on a day-to-day basis, that mentality, but once you hit those markers, that's where that feeling of endorphins kick in, because it's allowing you to feel the achievement, because you've built that achievement. No one gave it to you. It wasn't handed to you. You had to work for it yourself and achieve that. So that's where the endorphins, are spread in the brain and released to where you feel good in what you're doing, and you start wanting to do it a lot more.
Well, I think it also seems to carry, accomplishing is a thing, like, in itself, right?
Yes.
So if you get yourself accustomed to accomplishing, then it doesn't really matter what you're accomplishing. You can say, well, I'm going to go be nice to that person I can't stand, or I'm going to, try to keep my calm while I'm driving in a long drive, or whatever it is that is your obstacle. Accomplishing something is accomplishing something. So it makes the next thing easier. Like, I know I've been through some things that a lot of people have never been through with, being locked up and going through struggles that were insurmountable. And today I look at when something comes my way, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's not a big deal because I've already done something way harder than that. And, I would suspect, and that's where kind of the PTSD thing, the bad PTSD, for a point of reference, kind of blows my mind a little bit, because I always think of, combat veterans as, superheroes in a way. Like, they've accomplished things that most people could never imagine, and they did it, they came back, they survived it, and here they are to talk about it. And yet sometimes they're so, altered or damaged or whatever you want to call it, changed, that it didn't help them, and
that's the thing with, like, the civilian sector or just PTSD in general. Say you're healing from an injury, you're not getting that aspect of, what really, the trauma is. It's always being masked by, something else, instead of the root of the problem, and that's basically, like, I was discussing with a business partner. He owns an ice cream shop, and he's been getting into working out and taking his health serious. And so he started going with a trainer, and he goes 4 days a week, and he's paying $50 a session.
Whoa.
I mean, I
can tell you what to do for $50 a session.
Right.
Break a sweat.
Yeah, he was so, into it. He invited me to come for one of the workouts. So, the trainer was like, yeah, that's cool. So I went and worked out with the trainer, and I mean, he's in good shape. He knows, at least he knows what he's talking about, at least from, a physical aspect,
Mhm.
he looks like a trainer.
Right.
But one of the things that I walked away from, I mean, I won't go and I'll pay him $50 because he couldn't do anything to train me.
Right.
I mean, I didn't get anything from the workout, to be
Yeah.
honest. And this is pretty much how everyone is in the gym world,
Yeah.
that go and, like us, or, I just want to go feel better. I want to get in shape. I'm going to get in a trainer. Well,
Yeah.
all the trainers are putting their mindset into you, what has worked that they have built
Right.
for them.
Right.
Not
Yeah,
one.
they don't know what motivates you or how to get you to move forward. I think it's like a doctor, like you're talking about old school doctors. When I was a kid, a doctor would spend time with you. Sometimes a doctor would come over to your house and sit with your family and have dinner with you, and get to know, look around, see what else is around happening in the environment. Maybe be able to go, hey, I know you got this problem, but maybe it's this other thing that I noticed. Well, I think a good trainer would be more like that, spend some time with you and get to know you and learn your habits and what your goals are and what you're doing right now, what might be in your way and all that stuff.
Yeah. So whenever we were talking, I was talking with a trainer. You set me up doing different variations. I think we did chest, shoulders, and triceps. Like a pretty much CrossFit type of setup workout, back and forth. From each movement. And he asked me. He added push-ups to the last for chest in one of the movements, and asked me, like what kind of push-ups I do. And my buddy laughed.
What kind of
that question, so
right.
I told him I do 1,000 a day. I just kept it real with him, I'm not some little dude that don't know anything and I need all your help,
Right.
I'm here. I just, different environment, see what's new,
Yeah.
a different challenge.
Right.
It blew his mind. So
Yeah.
I knew, okay, he can't do anything for me,
Right.
So he's like, that's unbelievable. And I said,
Yeah.
And to me, I don't care. As a veteran, like you pretty much are that superhero. You're pretty much do things the ordinary person doesn't want to do, can't do,
Right.
want to do.
Yeah.
So that's the volunteer, of it, is you solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution and foreign and domestic and whatever else the words are.
Right.
So help you God. And that carries over in the civilian sector. A lot of the veterans get stuck going back in the civilian sector with not knowing what to do, the mindset, like all the tools that were built into you were not just to go to another country.
Right.
That you can, continue on with life and be able to build your own battle plan and take care of anything that, comes your way.
Right.
As you get out of, that environment, you'll start to being looked at under that scope from that environment and how you are. So maybe you raise your voice a little bit, or you have a deeper tone, in your bearing, which is like, just how you carry yourself. You could be labeled as, oh, he's crazy,
Right.
It's the weak mindset that's trying to take the strong, and that's where society is today. And a lot of the trainers, like going back to the trainer, is that mindset, like veterans have that mindset that can build and help the community. Why? Because we've been to the other side and we've come back,
Right.
But we're looked at as that's a bad thing, and what we did was bad, and now we're bad. So that's pretty much the ideology of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So it's all done in a pill form. Trying to get away from that is the healing aspect of putting the person as a human being. We all go through everything, and if we can go and defend this country and come back safely to our family, we should be able to heal under those circumstances, and let go of what, we went and did for everybody else. So
Right.
how do you help somebody in that situation? You have to mirror it. So just like workman's comp for the civilian sector, when I was with the sheriffs and had the gun beaten over my head, almost killed me, all my medical issues weren't treated. It was just paperwork. this doctor may help, and it was 6 months out for treatment, and how does that help somebody that's in pain or
Right.
dying or whatever they're experiencing, that's the treatment, so I went back to pretty much, what worked for, me is that military mindset, because you're taught not to leave anyone behind,
Right.
and even if, somebody dies, they're coming home, we're not leaving you behind. I think that's something that, it needs to be embedded.
I wish the rest of the world would carry some of that, because man, out here they're like, you're out of here.
Yeah.
I'll leave you behind in a second.
Yeah. And, so getting you back to being able to push yourself, doing the push-ups, it builds a program where it doesn't cost any money. You don't have to
Right.
worry about a trainer, and you can work on yourself, as an individual. We're all this hype of going to the gym. We got to have this matching outfits and all that, smell good perfumes and everything. It's ridiculous, going into.
I've never worked out in a gym one time, not ever once.
I go there just,
It's just never been my thing. I mean, I used to go and play racquetball when I was younger, and there was a gym that had racquetball, and I used to go play with my friends. But
my dad was championship league in the Air Force, and
wow,
yeah, he taught me. I could never defend his serve, man.
yeah, I wasn't all that good, but I had fun,
I got stuck by the ball so many times. Man, that sucker hurts. It's fun. That's a great game.
Yeah.
I like that you said that. We'll have to play.
Yeah. Well, you know what I was going to tell you is I have a goal in my mind that one day I'm going to sit with you and we're going to drop down and we're just going to snap out a bunch of push-ups together. And you're going to look at me and go, all right. You're going to smile and say, you're on it. And that's it. That's one of my goals in my mind. So
we could do that right there at Gardens of Hope.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. A little therapeutic horticulture.
Heck yeah. You can do that anywhere. That's another thing. Like a lot of people say, do you like going to the gym, or the gym atmosphere? To me, I don't look at it as like I'm going to the gym. The only reason I go to a gym is a variety of different, movements,
Right.
to give, a different platform.
Yeah, some specialized tools that you would have. You could tailor, what do they call it? Isometric exercises where you're just working against your own body.
Right.
You could tailor, I mean, they have every kind of motion that you could do, especially if you had some ropes and things, and you could really, suspend yourself up, and lift and pull and use your own body weight to do any of that. But there's also a different thing that happens when you add weight that's more than your body. So there's a different kind of benefit that you can do that your own body weight can't do. There's a limit to what it can do, but it's a pretty high limit. Like you could get ripped as anybody without putting a single weight on anything. I guarantee you.
One of the guys that I remember from high school, no, it was junior high. He was an older guy, looked like Rambo, just ripped and shredded.
Yeah.
He never touched any weights. All he did was push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups.
Yeah.
And he looked like Rambo. I was like, man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So like things like that, they have to build some type of muscle memory.
That has as much to do with your whole health on top of it, though, your diet, your sleep, and everything else, drinking the right water and all, it's not just I do this exercise and I get this result. It's the whole picture. I noticed today you had put up a thing about a meal replacement. I know we're going to burn through time quick, and I want to let you run this show yourself today. So I just noticed that. I wanted to mention it.
Yeah, it's pretty much, I mean, I'm gaining my size back. I'm right at 188.
Okay.
And probably about 2 months ago, I was right around 155.
Really?
Yeah, just I would go up and then I would go down. I get 180 and then it would go down. It just, I don't know.
A huge fluctuation. That's 30 pounds.
Yeah, it's my metabolism since the brain injury. It's on beast mode. So
wow.
I have to eat pretty much, I would, like 4,000 calories a day.
Jeez.
Just to sustain like 2,000.
Wow.
Well, 2 months ago, I started, I only eat maybe processed meals, like meat or chicken or fish or anything like that, maybe only once a week now. And the rest of it is just plant-based.
You see that?
Yeah, let's give me some of that.
Microgreens, baby.
Microgreens, yes. I put a cup of microgreens in every shake I do, but it's all fruit.
I wish you were closer, man. I'm growing these things every day.
Man, it's I just popped some tomatoes off the vine, that I'm growing. And it's just, man, it's
I got fresh apples from my daughter's tree.
Oh, see, and you put that in your body. Your body needs more fruit. It needs more H230 water. Like take a watermelon. That's a a gallon of water.
Oh yeah.
Pulled from the earth and all
Right.
the minerals. So you're getting all the minerals and all that water and everything straight from the source.
Exactly.
You can't get that in the grocery store. It tastes so much.
If you're doing it right, you got no poisons, nothing put on it. You just
exactly
rinse it off and eat it down.
I think it's three meals. Like I did, I just took a cup, cut enough for a cup of each of the fruit, put it in, make a salad out of it, throw some drizzle, some honey all over it. Man, I actually couldn't really finish it. There was maybe like that much left in the bowl.
Wow.
Because it filled me up. And I was hydrated, and it was 105 out. I did my workout outside. I did like 600 push-ups, 200 shoulders. I did 100 pull-ups, and then like 100 air squats.
Wow!
All outside in the heat. I'm too with my condition.
Yeah.
And fruit helped me stay out there and sustain myself in Mother Nature. It's just amazing.
Well, you're motivating me, so
I feel so much better. Just
I'm a long way away, but I'll catch up quick. You'll see.
And that meal was 148 grams of protein. And my body utilized every single part of every bit of the protein. It didn't waste it. And I was hungry, and I had maybe just an apple and a banana before I went to bed, and that was it. So 2 months of doing that, I've gained like 15 pounds.
Wow.
Just fruit, vegetables, and
what
stuff.
do you think about eggs?
Eggs, I like my son got me 2 dozen eggs from the farm.
We got chickens now.
Yeah, so chicken eggs and goose eggs. Man, just the goose eggs, they're like real huge.
Yeah, when I was a kid,
we had protein.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we had geese, and they're big old eggs. Like one egg's probably like 4 chicken eggs.
Yeah, and it's just like 2 of those, put it in a skillet with some veggies and some microgreens, and man, it's good. And it just, we are what we put inside us.
For sure.
And inside us is pretty much the entire world, so
if
we want to better the world, we got to better ourselves.
Absolutely.
Starts with, 1 push-up a day. You'll feel better than everything else, and I like it because if somebody's telling you can't do that, that's my motivation. When somebody tells me I'm crazy, that's even more I smile even bigger, because I'm taking that's just saying to me that they can't do that, so they're inflicting that onto me.
That's the whole thing with people. Yeah, you got it. You nailed it right there. Because when somebody is a jerk to you, that's them saying, I feel lousy inside. That's everybody's a mirror of their own actions. It's like when somebody points at you, you got 4 fingers pointing back at you. And that's generally how we are. So when somebody's happy and cares and wants to better you, they're probably in a pretty good place. They're probably, or at least trying to be, when somebody's angry and bitter, which is what kind of gets down to the whole PTSD thing. So when somebody's reacting poorly to a situation, it means they're broken inside. It means they've got, something that is a big obstacle that they're, hopefully going to be able to overcome.
Well, I said something the other day, and I was in the grocery store, and I only had maybe like milk and something else in my hand, and the lady in front of me had a whole bunch of stuff. It wasn't taking her time; it was just taking time. And so she felt bad and was like apologizing to me. And I said, it's okay. I'm in no hurry. It's fine. And I said, it's cheaper to be patient. And she turned around and said, I've never heard that before, but that is, thank you.
I like it. Yeah.
And then she just rumbling on with her own definitions of it. And that just made me smile like, wow, maybe I did say something that was catchy,
Yep.
And then I started thinking about it is right, it is cheaper to be patient. Be patient with yourself in the times that you're not yourself, because those are the times you need to be patient, because yourself is asking yourself to be patient. We just
Right.
listening. So, and it costs you less money. You don't break things. I mean, you don't have to go.
No, you're right. If you can keep moving forward and not have to keep going backwards and starting over again, because when you're impulsive and jumpy and doing, you make bad choices, you knock shit over, you trip, you
Yep.
go the wrong way, you got to go back. I mean, and when you're patient and careful, you generally will. It's like the tortoise in the hare, and you don't burn yourself out. You just kind of keep moving forward, and before
Like
you know
a zombie.
before
Yeah.
you know it, you're there. Yeah.
Zombie never gets burnt out.
Right. Yeah, they just
So
keep going as
get
long
that
as they
zombie
get
mind
supply.
out, calm it back down so we can start to function again.
Right, right.
So it's cheaper to be patient. I like that.
I like that for sure.
That's awesome.
Well, we've got a few minutes left, and I'm not on a tight schedule, but I try not to go too long, just try to keep a good rhythm with the episodes, and we're starting to build a following, and people are starting to get into a rhythm of how long these things generally are. And I'm trying to get it to flow, and I really like our conversations. Like we're just having a good, real conversation, and sometimes it's topical, sometimes it's more conversational. This was started out topical, kind of got a little conversational, but it is what it is. But I'm going to let you finish it up, and we got about 5 or 6 minutes left, and that'll let you, coalesce your thoughts without me jumping in the way again.
Well, we want everyone to be able to do, the program. That's why we started, with like just the 40, and actually researched, 90%, 96% chance of not having any cardiovascular disease or any plasticity in your brain, deteriorating. It can actually improve. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Just 40 push-ups. I did 1,000, so I know my brain and my heart and everything is good. But we want yours to be good and to be able to function. So if we can get you if you can do one, we can get you to the 40. And the 40, that's a lifesaver. And that's what pretty much God wants you at, is the 40. So don't focus on, whatever else in the world. Focus on your 40. Keep your world small, keep your thoughts small, and everything will change. So this Q from Irish I had CBD and Yellow Footprint Fitness. You need anything, we're tied now to Joe and the Gardens of Hope, and we're going to start doing a lot more holistic healing and start bringing you more of a mental game and different aspect on different things that'll help you in the future deal with the issues that you are troubled with now, So we'll build that plan so that you have something later on in life to build on, so that and fall back on, to give you that gauge in life to where you can succeed no matter what happens to you.
Fantastic. Well, Richard, what a pleasure. And again, I feel today was a momentous day. I began the journey with you now. So tomorrow, hopefully I'll hit my first nonstop 40, which I will. I know I will. And
Yeah,
it'll be the first of many goals down a long road. I got a long way to go before I can keep up with you, but that's my goal, is to jump into the ring with you and be able to go rep for rep with you for a little while. We'll see where we go.
well, I've been doing it since 2015. That's where I started, and where I'm at now. I'm thankful because I gave myself that chance. I took that wheelchair away the doctor wanted to put me in. I took that picture away they showed me of my back all messed up. I took all that mental out of my mind, out of my body, and I gave it back to him. So it's taken a journey to do that, but it can be done. And life it's day by day.
Well, I think the coolest thing is you walk it, you live it. It was the thing that healed you, just like the medicine that I make. It's what I take for me, and I made it for me. I made it for my wife. I made it for my family, and I just share it with everybody else because I know it works. And this is what you've done. You found something that worked for you, and you're sharing it with everybody else because it works. So,
and you created it, and that's amazing. You did something because you believed in yourself and that it would help somebody. And that's what it
Absolutely.
did. It put me in front of you and to say thank you, because that's what it did to me.
And look at us, we're working together now. I love it.
And that's how it should be. So, that's godlike in the circle, and that's what healing's all about. And I think that's what everybody needs, not a prescription.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Well, this has been another episode of the Healthy Living Podcast, brought to you by Willow Creek Springs, and we will see you next time.
Have a good day.